this is not the first time that a study has been done that actually discusses the impact of lesser police presence or even the demonization of law enforcement, not to mention the defund the police campaign that was kind of double teamed by both Black Lives Matter and by Jewish Voice for Peace, right? They actually called it first it was called the Deadly Exchange, right? And so if you don't know what that is, I'll remind you again. Deadly Exchange is the term that Jewish Voice for Peace, that it's not its name, right? They call it Jewish Voice for Peace. It's a demonization of Israel and an exploitation of the Black community, the same way the Black Lives Matter does. And Black Lives Matter, they came together and they said that because Israel helps train police in all over the world, particularly after 9/11, right, in different methods of counterterrorism and everything, that somehow when a cop shoots particularly a Black or unarmed person in the United States or anywhere else, particularly the United States, that is somehow Israel's fault. Right? Do you see the mental gymnastics? They have the quote loaded. Go ahead, you give me the quote. Yes. The findings of the event study suggest that the BLM protests led police departments to pull back from interactions with the public and obtain body cameras, leading to increased crime and decreased police killings. Now, specifically over the 5 years after local BLM protesting, and the 5 years, those first protests began in 2014, right? So it went from 2014 to 2019. Property crime arrests decreased by approximately 12%, while reported murders increased by roughly 11.5%, which is over 3,000 additional homicides. Thank you very much. Over a 5-year period, 3,000 additional homicides as a result of the police pulling back. It didn't even mention defund the police part, right? That didn't even mention that part, right? And particularly in high crime areas, particularly where the Black Lives Matter protests were focused in the inner city, oftentimes, right? Those homicides were overwhelmingly not just Black, but we've already talked about the different studies that they were minors, 18 years and younger, Black children paying for this war on law enforcement, which was supposed to be focused on improving law enforcement. That's what it was supposed to be. How can we do the job better? How can the communities work together with law enforcement, those types of things? When it just became pigs in the blanket, fry them like bacon, which was one of the chances Black Lives Matter would use, right? When it was just the hostility and hatred towards police, when you have Black Lives Matter LA going into the Fairfax district, which is a Jewish district, and defacing and synagogues and yeshivas, that has nothing to do with justice or fighting police brutality. It's about anti-Semitism. It's about hatred for authority, all of these things which are not helping. And we see now these studies that are continue to come through, not helping, making things worse.